This Viva training video will cover the basics of how to explore and navigate the Registrations tab. We are beginning the training in the Registration tab, where we house all of our global registrations and their associated metadata and documents. You can see on the left-hand side we have the section called Views, and in this Views you can see some standard views such as all registration, recent registration, and favorites. However, you can also set up customized views, which we will talk about in a little bit. Next are the filters, which is how you filter your results, and across the top is your standard search bar. The goal of Viva is for it to be your everyday tool, to not have duplication between a spreadsheet and Viva, or treat Viva as a global checkbox. We want Viva to be your everyday tool, and in that it's necessary for you to be able to customize it. Viva has lots of customization capabilities built in. The first one that I want to point out is the ability to customize the rows that go across the top. A lot of different users have a set that they like to look at registrations, and this can be done by hitting the 3 action dots, selecting Edit Columns, and then adjusting the columns based on your particular needs. If you prefer to have the product line slightly lower in the list and next to maybe the PLT long, versus the status, or what they call state of the registration, close to the registration name, you can adjust those with these arrows. In addition, you can move metadata that's on the left-hand side to the right-hand side, and that will then show up in your columns. For example, it would be important for me to know the security zone of my registration, so I'm going to bring that over and move it to the very top. You will now hit Save, and this will be your default view moving forward. Now that you have a default view that makes sense for your particular everyday uses, you can begin by filtering particular results from the top. So if I'm going to pretend that I am a registration manager in APAC, I could select APAC here and hit Apply. And then I also know that it's really only valuable for me to see products that are currently approved. I don't have any interest or value in seeing historic or discontinued products, so I will select Approved here and hit Apply. So I now have taken my large list of results down to 437, which is a much more manageable number. You can further refine those results in more complex and specific criteria in the left-hand side of the screen under Filters. So for example, I may want to decide that I want to narrow these products down to only insecticides. Can then select insecticides, and I have a much smaller number of 236. This process can continue down to the specific location. So I can maybe select Thailand, and now I see the breadcrumb across the top. These are approved registrations for Thailand that are insecticides in the APAC region. This is a common view that I would like to see, and I can save this instead of having to filter each time. So you simply hit Save View As, type in what you would like to call this, and hit Save. This is now saved on the left-hand side. When you exit the system or return to a different tab, and then return to the Registration tab, you will remain in the previous view when you last exited. Simply click on All Registrations to return to the broader picture. If you don't see what you are looking for in the current view that you have for your filters, you can click the Edit pencil and search here, or click on the magnifying glasses and move the columns the same way we did in the 3 action dots by clicking and bringing it over and hitting apply. It is also sometimes necessary to search for registrations specifically by a specification number. These more detailed searches can be found under this drop-down, and then you may go to registrations and you can search specifically for registrations with a particular production site, article, or UVP. In this example, we're going to use specification. You simply enter the specification number in the search bar and hit search. You will want to rely on the second section of numbers if you do see results in the top section. You can then filter these results by particular countries or statuses depending on what you're looking for. In this example, I'm going to say that I want this specification to equal a specific country or region. I'm going to go with Belgium, hit apply, and you will see that there is one specification number associated with a registration in Belgium, and that is R1111, sorry, and click on that and it'll take you directly to that record. Once you have set the filters in place that meet your needs, you may then want to see the details of a particular registration. For this example, I'm going to use Agenda EC25 from Thailand. You'll notice that every registration entry has an R number. This is a system-generated number from Viva that allows for a unique identifier of each registration. As we click on the registration, you will notice there is a group of tabs or line items to the left, as well as some main details here on the front page. Each registration detail contains specific information about this product. And as you click through, you will notice the specific information for that product. You can either click or scroll to see those details. Additional details for regulatory actions or dossiers can be viewed by either clicking or, as I like to do, right-clicking and opening in a new tab that particular element of the registration. Having one centralized point of truth for all of our registrations is crucial for the ability and license to sell our registrations and products here at InView. As you're reviewing your registrations, please know that it's very easy to edit and update these records. If you notice that a detail in the details or registration details needs to be corrected, simply click the pencil button and make that edit live. If you expand the registration details tab, you see here are the approval dates, numbers, transfer information, and so on. Simply make that comment or change and hit save. In addition, the lifecycle state or status, approval status of this registration is shown in the left-hand corner next to the R number. This can be adjusted by clicking on the chevron arrow and selecting which option is appropriate. If we wanted to move this registration to transferred, you would receive a pop-up box with information to be filled, followed by the start, and that would automatically update all the relevant fields that needed to be updated. As you move through the sections or tabs on the left-hand side, making edits is similarly as easy. except you may need to hit the Add button to make additional changes, or click in the live columns to make those changes. This process is similar for the product involvement, specification, and production site sections. A side note, if you see a question mark and hover over it, this will give you specific information about what is meant to be contained in this section.